Maybe let's turn that on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 5. Today is the 5 day. Parabhavasthavada bodhijato Yavana yasa atmatattvam Yavat kriyasthavat idam manovai Karma-kamina sarira-bandha Prabhavasthavada bodhijato Yavaniyasata atmatattvam Yavat kriyasthavat idam manovai Karma-kamina sarira-bandha
Parabhavasthavada bodhijato
Yavaniyasata atmatattvam
Kriyasthavidam manovai
Karma-kamina sarira-bandha
Parabhavasthavada bodhijato
Yavaniyasata atmatattvam
Kriyasthavadidam
Yavat kriyasthabuddham manubhaya.
Yena sarira bandha.
Karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. Parabhavasthavadabodhajato.
Parabhavasthavadabodhajato.
Yavanna jignasatmatmatvam.
Yavat-jnasat-atma-tattvam.
Yavat kriyasthavadidam manubhaya.
Yavat-kriyasthavadidam manubhaya. Karma-yena sharira-bandha. Parabhavasthavadabodhajato.
Yavanna jignasat-atma-tattvam. Yavat kriyasthavadidam manubhaya. Karmatmakam yena sharira bandha.
Parabhava,
Parabhava.
defeat, misery.
Defeat misery.
Tavat,
Tavat.
so long.
So long.
Bodhajata,
Abodhajata.
produced from ignorance.
Released from ignorance.
Yavat,
Yavat.
as long as.
As long as.
Na,
Not.
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 Jigyasate,
Jignasate.
inquires about.
Inquires about.
Atma-tattvam,
Atma-tattvam.
the truth of the self.
The truth of the self.
Yavat,
Yavat.
as long as.
As long as.
Kriyaha,
Kriyaha.
fruitive activities.
Fruitive activities.
Tavat,
Tavat.
so long.
So long.
Idam,
Idam.
this.
This.
Mana,
Mana.
mind.
Mind.
Vai,
Vai.
indeed.
Indeed.
Karma atmakam,
Karma-atmakam.
absorbed in material activities.
Absorbed in material activities.
Yena,
Yena.
by which.
By which.
Sharirabandha,
Sharira bandha.
bondage in this material body.
Bondage in this material body.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmakam, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body. Generally, people think that one should act very piously in order to be relieved from misery. But this is not a fact. Even though one engages in pious activity and speculation, he is nonetheless defeated. His only aim should be emancipation from the clutches of Maya and all material activities. Speculative knowledge and pious activity do not solve the problems of material life. One should be inquisitive to understand his spiritual position, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Yathai dhamsi samidhognir bhasma sat kuruterjuna Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasma sat kurute ta. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjun, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. Unless one understands the self and its activities, one has to be considered in material bondage. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32, it is also said, Yen ye redaksham vimuktamarinas tvayastabhavad avasura buddhaya. A person who doesn't have knowledge of devotional service may think himself liberated, but actually he is not. Arura Krishnena param param tata patantina nadrita yusman angraya. Such people may approach the impersonal Brahman effulgent, but they fall down again into material enjoyment because they have no knowledge of devotional service. As long as one is interested in karma and jnana, he continues enduring the miseries of material life, birth old age, disease, and death. Karmis certainly take on one body after another. As far as jnanis are concerned, unless they are promoted to the topmost understanding, they must return to the material world, as explained in Bhagavad Gita 7:19. Bahunam janmanam mante jnanamanmam vajite. The point is to know Krishna, Vasudeva, as everything and surrender to him. Karmis do not know this, but a devotee who is 100% engaged in devotional service of the Lord knows fully what is karma and jnana. Therefore, a pure devotee is no longer interested in karma or jnana, anyamilasita sunyam, jnana karmadinamrita. The real bhakti is untouched by any tinge of karma and jnana. His only purpose in life is to serve the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Om Jnana Devanandasya Gnanam Dina Salakaya Chakram Vidam Dina Tasam Shri Guru Jainam Mukam Guruvachanam Bhagavan Vaite Yakripata Mande Shri Guru Dinadana Vanchikaputu Vischa Kripa Sindhu Devacha Avanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Saraswati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Many people think that the goal of life is to just enjoy, especially in the material world. They're hankering for material enjoyment, but they don't know that when the body dies, they have to continue. And because of so many sinful activities, they get reactions. They get a lot of reactions. Therefore, the devotees of the Lord are very kind. And they go out of their way to stop people from going to this horrible thing that they're going towards. Just like, imagine there's a blind person. He's walking and he doesn't know that he's going into traffic. He's deaf and blind, so he doesn't hear it and he doesn't see it. So any gentleman will hey, he'll stop him. Grab his shoulder. No, you're going to danger. So people don't know they're going into a very dangerous, a very unpleasant, hellish, unpleasant place. But they're going that direction because of so many sinful activities. So devotees, out of their kindness, out of their compassion, they go to stop them and get them going in the right direction towards Krishna. And that's what this book distribution and preaching, that's what this is all about. And then you got the jnanis, they're meditating on impersonal Brahman, but that's also not bringing satisfaction to the soul. Prabhupada gives an example of fire, heat, and light. Now the two of them are impersonal, light and heat. Mm-hmm. But the fire, it has form. Mm-hmm. And the heat and light are coming from that form. So similarly, so many things, there's so much energy. There's a material energy, there's a spiritual energy, there's so many energy, but it's all coming from Krishna. The form. He's got a form. Krishna has a form. It's natural, obviously. Krishna has a form. It's the absolute. We have forms. And we've all come from Krishna. Just like the sun rays, they're coming from the sun. So we've come from Krishna. So naturally we have form. The sun rays are coming from the sun. The sun rays are hot. Yeah? Of course, now it's a little chilly. Mm-hmm. Entering into winter now. So if the sun rays are hot, naturally the sun must be hot. We're persons, we have forms. We come from God, so naturally he has a form. And all his forms are beautiful. There's a form of Varaha. It's a hog. Varaha, right? So someone might think, well, that's not an attractive form of God. Right? Hog. Actually, believe it or not, I was in Mayapur. And someone was giving class, sannyasi was giving class, and someone asked a question that the form of, I had a microphone also, I was going to ask a question, so he asked a question. So he said, this form of a hog, it's ugly. And I had the microphone before Mars could say it. No, that's nonsense. Lord Bora is beautiful. He has lotus eyes. He's actually all opulence, beauty, wealth, strength, fame, renunciation. It's all there in all the forms of the Lord. But we have this conception that, well, if it's a hog, it must be ugly, because hogs are ugly, but not when incarnated, not in an incarnation of Krishna. He has lotus eyes, beautiful, beautiful Lord. So, yeah, to understand Krishna, it's not easy. Just like even the pastimes of Krishna on this planet. I was giving class the other day in San Francisco. We have a beautiful center there now. He really set it up nicely. And then to Chaitanya Prabhu. So a lady asked that I read these pastimes of Krishna. They seem like far out stories, and how. So I said, so is God ordinary or extraordinary? Is he extraordinary or is he ordinary? I said, yeah, well, he's God. Yeah, I guess he's extraordinary. He's not ordinary like we are. So it's hard to understand Krishna's pastimes and Krishna himself because we're used to ordinary life. So to hear about the extraordinary pastimes of Krishna, it's difficult to grasp. But we're small. We have limited intelligence, limited understanding of reality. So we just have to have some faith. And so this is a common thing that the non-devotees say, oh, this religion is all just blind faith. But there's also blind doubt. There's blind doubt. Without investigation, they reject the existence of God. So many times when I'm distributing books, I'll speak to atheists. And I tell them that, we have this intelligence for a reason, to investigate life. So don't be closed on the existence of God. Use your intelligence and investigate. Investigate. Yeah. Use your common sense, use your intelligence, take this book and investigate. And they say, okay. They're open-minded. Sometimes they're so close they don't take. But yeah. I also wanted to talk about this Bhishma Panchaka. You know why this is? It's called Bhishma Panchaka because the last 5 days of Bhishma's life, he fasted. Now he was on a bed of arrows. I don't know how he was eating before he started fasting because he had so many arrows. It was just an amazing person. But he had this benediction by his father that you die whenever you want. So these last 5 days before he passed away, he was fasting. So he's an amazing personality, Bhishma. He had some interesting pastime with Krishna during the battle of Kurukshetra. Bhishma, he was the greatest warrior on the battlefield. He was although he was elderly, he was still hands down the greatest warrior in the battlefield. But after a few days, Duryodhana noticed that none of the Pandavas even had a scratch on them. So he said to Bhishma, you must be favoring the Pandavas. Because here we've been fighting for a few days and they haven't even been scratched. He said, oh yeah? So he's a Kshatriya, so he took that as a challenge. All right. These 5 arrows are going to kill the Pandavas tomorrow. Now you can imagine Duryodhana must have been like, whoo, yeah, all right, the war's going to end tomorrow. It's over tomorrow. So, but fortunately, Arjuna has a friend who's omniscient. It's nice to have a friend that's omniscient with everything. So Krishna, he told Arjuna, you have to go to Duryodhana tonight and you have to ask a favor. He owes you a favor. Krishna knows everything. Because what happened was Duryodhana, when he sent the Pandavas out to the forest, this wasn't the 13-year time, this is another time. And he just he went out to show off, he brought some of his men and just to show off, and they're out in the forest, living in the woods there. But while he was there, he went to go drink some water, and some Gandharvas came. Hey, this is our lake. You can't come here and drink anything here. And Duryodhana said, "What are you talking about? Just drink whatever I want. It's okay." So then they captured him, and Yudhisthira got wind of this. He got to know about this, and he told Arjuna, go help Duryodhana and the others. And Arjuna said, well, come on, they're harassing us so much. And Yudhisthira said, I know, but they're family. There's family quarrels, that's natural, it happens. But someone's harassing our family, go help. So Arjuna went and saved Duryodhana. So you can imagine how embarrassing that must have been. He went there to embarrass the Pandavas, and then he's saved by the Gandharvas. By Arjuna. So then Duryodhana said, I owe you a favor. You've done a great favor for me. I owe you. So he went there. Arjuna went there. Duryodhana. Duryodhana says, oh, Arjuna, you're here. Haribol. What do you want? Because it's amazing that when there was battles during these real Kshatriya wars, at night they would come and they would practically be friends. Can you want some water? Are you hungry? Let me give you something to eat. And talk. How was the battle today? They'd have talk. It's amazing. So he invited him in. Is there anything you want? I'll give you the kingdom. You want it? No, I want it. Just give me those 5 arrows. And immediately he gave the 5 arrows. Shut your spirit. Just like, even though he was Duryodhana, most evil, low class and rascal, still there was something there, some integrity. So he immediately gave the arrows to him. And then Arjuna said, thank you very much. Haribo. And Duryodhana was thinking, oh man, we thought that was it. So then the next day, Bhishma, he comes to Duryodhana and says, give me the arrows. I don't have them. What do you mean you don't have them? You kept them for safekeeping. Arjuna came and asked for them. And immediately Bhishma knew Krishna's behind this. Krishna's behind it. So actually Krishna made a vow before the battle that he wouldn't fight. What happened was Duryodhana and Arjuna came at the same time to Krishna to get him on their side. Krishna was transcendentally resting. So Duryodhana thought, better I'm near his head, then if he sees me, he's going to ask what I want first. But Arjuna, he's a devotee, said, better I'm at his feet. So then Krishna transcendentally woke up and he said, "Oh, Duryodhana." He saw Duryodhana first. And then he saw Arjuna. Oh no, excuse me. He saw Arjuna first. Saw Arjuna first. Arjuna, you're here. What's the occasion? Oh, then he saw Duryodhana. And then they both said, "Well, there's battles coming up, and we happen to come here at the same time to invite you on our side." So Krishna said, "Well, I'm not going to fight. I could be on the battle, but I won't fight. So I have my army, and there's me. So Arjuna, you can either have me, or you can have my army. Since I saw you first, you choose." And Arjuna said, "I'll take you, Krishna." And Duryodhana was thinking, "Man, this guy must be nuts. Krishna's not going to fight." He could have had the army, big army, Krishna, imagine. I don't know how many Akshamanis, anybody knows? 7, I think? So he had a lot of warriors. So, but Arjuna knew Krishna. Duryodhana didn't know Krishna. So Arjuna was very happy. And Duryodhana was very happy. They both walked away very happy. But we know Arjuna was better off. So Bhishma, he took a vow that either I'm going to kill Arjuna today on the battlefield, or Krishna has to break his vow. So word got out. There was no emails, no phones, but word got out real quick. Bhishma's after Arjuna. So that was the big thing that day, to protect Arjuna. But Bhishma is Bhishma. He's powerful. He was just working his way through, just going through the warriors. And then at the end of the day, he's there with Arjuna. And he's fighting with Arjuna. He's just getting to the point of killing Arjuna. And then Krishna, he grabs a wheel. Now, generally, a wheel is not a weapon, but it can be. I mean, someone gets hit hard enough with a wheel. These are big wheels, these big chariots. So he charged him to kill him. And what happened? Arjuna stopped. But also it said that Krishna, he made the sun set. So when the sun sets, the war is over for the day. So for that reason, Bhishma stopped. And Arjuna was saved. And also I think it had something to do with that Arjuna. There's a nice picture of Arjuna grabbing Bhishma. Beautiful picture. Very So Bhishma was a great personality. Why? Because he had devotion. He had a special relationship, rasa, with Krishna. Chivalry. He was shooting arrows at Krishna, and they were like flowers. And Krishna was shooting arrows at him; they were like flowers, because they had this chivalry rasa. So these different rasas that are there with Krishna. And the goal is to attain a relationship with Krishna again. We actually have a Siddha Swarup, an original relationship with Krishna. It's interesting that there was in Vrindavan, there was a devotee, a sannyasi, that went to one ISKCON sannyasi. He went to one guru in Vrindavan. And he could tell people their Siddha Swarup, what they were in the spiritual world. So he told the sannyasi that in the spiritual world, you're a peacock. So he said, well, you have to practice. So he went into his room and he said, and one devotee went in there, a friend of his, and he said, "What are you, Prabhu? What are you doing?" I went to one guru here in Vrindavan. He used to have my siddha swarupas. I'm a peacock. He said I should practice. Practice them. And the devotee couldn't believe it. He was thinking, well, this is what happens when you leave Prabhupada. You think there's something beyond Prabhupada. So, unfortunately, yeah, he eventually he understood it was just bogus, but he left Krishna consciousness. But Radhanath Swami, he was telling about this, and he knew him. He was a good preacher. He's a good devotee. He's a good preacher. But see, even someone's a good devotee, a good preacher, can go off. So then he tried to make a comeback. He went to New Vrindavan and he was preaching with Radhanath Swami, the colleges, but it just he went too far off. He couldn't come back. So we have to be very careful. Krishna has given us an opportunity, and if we take it seriously, we will advance very nicely in Krishna consciousness and grow and experience the joy of Krishna consciousness. Yasmin, no, what is that? Visham Purnam Sukhayate. This is an amazing statement by, I think, Prabhu Saraswati, that the material world, it's a miserable place. Like I mentioned the other day, the miseries come in our own body and nature and other people. It's just it's a miserable place. But for a devotee, it's simply joy. Amazing. Huh? For a devotee, it's simply joyful. Because they're Krishna conscious. To give you an amazing example, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he had cancer. He had, I mean, it was like intense. They had to amputate his leg. His one leg was amputated because the cancer was spreading. So he called Radhanath Swami and said, the doctor said I have 3 days to please come. But it was about a 5-hour drive away. He was scheduled to give class. So he told the organizers, no, I've just been asked to visit Bhakti Tirtha Swami. He's leaving his body. So I'm not going to be able to give class. So he made an announcement that Radhanath Swami won't be able to give class because Bhakti Tirtha Swami is leaving his body and he asked him to come. So he's going to visit. So Radhanath Swami is driving away and so many devotees followed him to see Bhakti Tirtha up. Amazing. He was shocked. He looked in the back of it, he looked in the mirror, and there's so many cars following him. So they all arrived. Imagine Bhakti Tirtha must have been so happy to see so many devotees arriving. And he was so happy. He was preaching. He was preaching. And the devotees were just amazed because he was preaching so powerfully, so transcendentally. He was amazed. They were amazed. He was amazed. He told Radhanath Swami, I've never been able to preach like this before because I know I'm going there. I have to leave everything behind. So he was fully aware that he's a spirit soul. He's not the body. And there was one devotee, he was also dying of cancer. He said, each one of these cancer cells, they're my friends. Imagine. Because they're helping me take Krishna consciousness seriously right now before death. Like Bricket, he got the warning, 7 days. So cancer's like that. It's a warning. All right, get serious. So Vishram Purnam Sukhayate, simply joyful. But we have to be very careful and thank Krishna. Whatever we get, we thank Krishna for it. There's a statement, Mahadbir Bhakinistai Nasfani Neti Manyate. Devotees of the Lord do not think that the services they do are actions under their own control, but they are expressions of Krishna's supreme mercy. So therefore, they're always grateful to Krishna. Don't think it's coming from me. Unfortunately, a lot of people, a lot of devotees thought that. They became powerful preachers. I mean, I know so many. But they forgot that it's all coming from Krishna. And they lost it. Prabhupada gives a story of a mouse who was being harassed by a cat. So this mouse went to one sage who he knew gave benedictions. He said, "Oh, sage, please, can you please help me? And what is the difficulty? What's the problem? There's a cat. He's chasing me. Please, make me a cat. Become a cat." Became a cat. That's good. Now don't have to worry about the cat. Then he came back sometime later. Said, "Sage, Sadhu, please help me. What's the problem? Dog. Dogs are chasing me. Become a dog. No more harassment by the dogs." Then sometime later he comes back, "Sadhu, please, Sage, please help me." What? Tiger. Tiger is chasing. Become a tiger. Tiger. And then the tiger's looking at the sage. "Oh, you want to eat me?" "Yes." Again become a mouse. Punarmustikabha. Again become a mouse. Because he couldn't appreciate it. You know, he tried to kill the sage. So we have to have gratitude and appreciate, what is being given to us. Otherwise, if we don't, then again become a karmi. So gratitude is very important. A very important aspect of Krishna consciousness. So here in the purport, Prabhupada says this very famous verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ade Jnanamam Vandite. After many, many births, one who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes. So we've had so many births, who knows, millions. And now finally we've got this human form of life. And in this verse, he says that as long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated. So we don't want to be defeated again. We've been defeated so many times, succumbing to material life and just surrendering to Maya. So therefore we have to take this seriously, this Krishna consciousness very seriously. And conquer this illusory energy. In one verse in the Uddhava Gita, Krishna says, Durjyanam Mahammana, of difficult things to conquer, I'm the mind. Very difficult. We all know how powerful the mind is. But with the help of Krishna, we can conquer the mind. We can conquer Maya. It's a big challenge. It's the biggest challenge anybody can face, is trying to defeat the mind, to conquer the mind. What does it mean? It means engaging the mind in the service of Krishna. Udaratmanatmanam natmanam abhisari. One must deliver the mind, one must deliver oneself with the help of the mind, not degrade oneself. The mind can be the friend or the enemy. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. For he's attained tranquility. For him, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor, dishonor, it's all the same. So we got to turn the mind into a friend. And Prabhupada says in one purport that if one doesn't, then you're simply associating with an enemy. We're associating with our enemy. The mind that's not a devotee is an enemy. So we're trying to turn our mind into a devotee. It's a nice prayer that you can say to Krishna. Please, Krishna, turn my mind into a devotee. Actually, Krishna says to Uddhava how we should pray to the deity. It's interesting, the deity, Krishna, is telling Uddhava how to pray to him in the form of the deity. Prapanam paimamisha bitam mrityu graharnava. This is the prayer. Please protect me, Krishna, who is trying to surrender unto you. I'm very fearful of this material existence, standing as I am in the mouth of death. That's the prayer. Beautiful prayer. Please protect me, Krishna. We had to pray for protection. Please protect me, who I'm trying to surrender unto you. We're all trying to surrender to Krishna. I'm very fearful of this material existence, standing as I am in the mouth of death. Prabhupada said, my disciples have two flaws. One of them, not enough afraid of Maya. We should have a firm fear of Maya. Maya is so powerful. Even great devotees have been bewildered by Maya. So we had to take shelter of Krishna, pray for mercy, have a great fear. You know, devotees are fearless, right? That's one of the natures of a devotee. That's one of the qualities, fearless. But he does fear Maya. There is some fear there. So, on that note, is there any question or comment or reflection? Mm-hmm.
So what is the second flaw of the devotee? When he is not enough afraid of Maya, and you said there's another flaw. What is the second one?
Oh yeah, that we like to change things. We like to change things. Prabhupada we had acquired this nice temple in Los Angeles, the one we have now on Watsik Avenue. And when Prabhupada saw that temple room, I mean the church room, it was a church room. It was a church before. So we acquired that. And it had stained glass windows, beautiful stained glass windows. And it had pews, like in a church. And Prabhupada liked that. He wanted it so the Americans come and they won't feel uncomfortable. Like a lot of times, you know, people feel uncomfortable sitting on the floor. Mm-hmm. You know, we're used to it. You know, sitting on the floor is not a big deal. But Prabhupada liked that they could come on Sunday and they could, you know, there was also the stand there, the devotee could stand and do it like that so that people feel comfortable. So he told the temple president that, leave it the way it is. I want people to feel comfortable when they come and they hear about Krishna. And let them come in with their shoes on. It's okay. It's not, there won't be deities. There was another, make a temple room somewhere else, which they actually did. So when Prabhupada returned, he left and then he returned, it was all changed. He was so upset. Beautiful stained glass windows, and then they put the temple room there. Of course, the temple room is beautiful. They have the temple room, some of you might know that they have a museum. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what the temple room was before. and then they moved the temple in there. The Prabhupada was very upset. And now I heard in Michigan recently, they acquired a temple, and the GBC, who knew of this, it was a church before, so they left the pews. The people could come in, and the devotee can, speak Krishna consciousness like that. And so let's see how that goes. So yeah, that's a big problem. We would like to change things. There was one devotee, even, believe it or not, who went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, this movement is so nice. It's such a wonderful movement. You were singing and dancing and taking nice prasadam. It's so nice. But if we can just have 3 regular principles instead of 4, we would really grow. No gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating. Stop there. He said, I'm not interested in having many flickering stars. If I could just get 1 moon, 1 full moon. Tonight's the full moon. 1 full moon, then this moon will be a success. Just see the integrity of Prabhupada. Such a person of high quality, high integrity. Generally, people in this world, they're very attracted to wealth, right? Money is the honey. Everybody likes wealth. But in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's stated, Premadana Manavyaya Diridu Jivan. Jivara Krishna Veda Pran. No, I think I'm mixing something. It's stated by Lord Chaitanya that if one does not have love for Krishna, one is Diridu Jivan, a poor soul. Therefore, Krishna, please, engage me in your service, and all I want as salary is love for you. So this is real wealth, to have love for Krishna. We find out how wealthy we are when we find out how many valuable things we have that money can't buy. So what is a valuable thing that money can't buy?
Time.
Time. What else?
Friends.
Friendship. Good friendship. Now, when you have a lot of wealth, everybody's your friend. But to have a good friend, that's rare. Love. Of course, you see it all the time. You see these old guys with these young ladies, but they're not marrying the man; they're marrying the money.
Health.
Yeah, huh?
Health.
Yeah. Or you can get a doctor, but the doctors, they can't. Ultimately, they can't stop death or disease. They try. They try real hard, but they can't. It's up to Krishna. Yeah. Compassion. Prabhupada was so wealthy, especially with compassion. He left India with 40 rupees, which means nothing in America. He had nothing, but he was the wealthiest person on the planet with compassion. He was multi wealthy, trillionaire when it comes to compassion. So much compassion. For a year, no success, practically. No success. But he had so much compassion, he wouldn't give up. He wouldn't give up. He kept going, kept going. Imagine, he was so determined, such patience, such determination, enthusiasm, just amazing. So then finally he got to 26 Second Avenue. He had a place, it was his now. Before he was at Dr. Mishra's. But he couldn't preach there. He was restricted. Imagine such a person with so much realization of Krishna couldn't preach. And when he did, he didn't like it. Dr. Mishra, he didn't like it. So he said, you can chant, but you can't speak. Because he was a Mayavadi. That must have been painful for him too, just to hear it. And they got in a big argument one time with some devotee. They were shouting at each other. Prabhupada couldn't tolerate these rascals. So gradually, because of his compassion and his knowledge, Bhakti Vedanta, appropriate name, Bhakti Vedanta, love and knowledge. So yeah, he was very wealthy with so many wonderful qualities. There's 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. They're dormant. And as we continue practicing Krishna consciousness, these qualities, they come out. Automatically. Once one has devotion for Krishna, the qualities are there. Pure devotion for Krishna. Yeah.
You mentioned that one Mataji asked how to understand these pastimes of Krishna, and you gave the understanding that how can God be ordinary, extraordinary. So how do we relate it to the other argument that you mentioned, that if we are personalities, we are form, we are saying, okay, how can the source of us be not personal, or how can he not have form? So the argument can be, oh, we are ordinary and he is extraordinary, so he might not have form. So I always have a...
We're ordinary.
Yeah.
So no, we're not ordinary.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
No, we're not ordinary. Yeah. We're spirit souls. We're not these bodies. We're spirit souls. So if one thinks that they're the body, then yeah, then you're ordinary. But we're spirit souls. We're part of that supreme personality of God. Just like imagine, someone's the son of the President of the United States. That's not ordinary. Before it was ordinary, but now he's the President of the United States, the son of the President of the United States. That's not ordinary. So we're sons of God. That's not ordinary. Yeah. And we have, it's actually mentioned that the pure soul also is illuminated like the sun. The pure soul. Yeah. It's like so many great devotees, they glow. Although they have a body, because they're glowing. So the soul is not ordinary at all. Yeah. Like Krishna, he's not ordinary. We're not ordinary either. And when we become pure, just like Prabhupada, he was extraordinary. Although he had a body that looked like somebody else's body, but no. He was extraordinary. And all these Jesus Christ and all these great Rupa Goswami, they're not ordinary. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. When we become pure devotees, then the ordinary that's gone. You become extraordinary. So we also can be extraordinary if we surrender to Krishna. Of course, we can never become like Krishna. He's extraordinary beyond anybody's imagination. Nobody's even, Vishnu is close. But even Vishnu, he doesn't have 4 things that Krishna has. So Krishna is very extraordinary. He plays the flute, right? What are the other three?
Exchanging rasas with the devotees.
His devotees,
And beauty.
Huh?
Beauty.
his beauty, and
And fruit.
no, I already said the flute.
Oh,
Pastime. His amazing pastime. So even so many incarnations of Krishna, they don't come close to Krishna. He's really extraordinary. Yeah.
You mentioned the 26 qualities. Are these things that we need to actively try to practice, or is because you said it's in our we have it, it's just dormant.
Yeah.
Or is it more like we don't need to worry about them and they'll naturally come if we just practice?
Yeah.
Reading?
Naturally they come. If you try to attain each of these 26 qualities of Vaishnavas, might be a little tough. But if we just surrender to Krishna, then automatically
Inspiration.
these 26 qualities come out. They're dormant. Just surrender to Krishna brings them all out. Like Prabhupada, he had all the 26 qualities of Vaishnava. There's so many devotees, such wonderful qualities. We have Vaisheshika before here. Amazing. So many devotees.
Like, there's a question, like there's one that says he's always clean. Let's say.
Oh, you looked him up?
Yeah, I was just looking at them. Like you have to try to practice cleaning, right? Like you have to get a little bit of like what if you're lazy? Something that.
Yeah, well, when you become a pure devotee, you won't be lazy anymore.
You have to try.
Huh?
You have to try cleaning.
No, when you become a pure devotee, naturally you'll be clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And Prabhupada said, actually, cleanliness is godliness. It's natural. When we become pure, you'll naturally be clean. When Prabhupada said, a Brahmana means when he goes into a place and he leaves the place, it's cleaner when he leaves than it was when he entered. Not like sometimes you go in, the devotees go into a place, they leave, and it's dirtier when it was than it was when they entered. You be very clean. Whenever you see dirt, clean it up. Doesn't take long. Yeah. See the pots, clean them up. See some dirt, clean it up. Prabhupada is very clean. One of his many qualities. Okay, anything else? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Vijaya. His Grace Vijaya Prabhu ki
Vijaya.
Jai.